After the duffel bag skerfuffle, I really thought that things couldn't get worse for Bethesda. I really thought we could just move on from all of this. But then earlier today, reports began to spread that Bethesda support had mistakenly leaked personal information from customers who had submitted tickets recently. First reported by Twitter user Jesse Tracy, for some reason, Bethesda support page glitched in such a way that people who logged into the website could look at other people's recently submitted support tickets, with many of them being comprised of Fallout 76 Power Armor Edition buyers who had gone through the process Bethesda detailed to request the replacement canvas duffel bag. Information in these tickets included people's names, email addresses, home addresses, phone numbers, type of card used, and more, according to users who reported this. It goes without saying that this is a pretty serious breach, one that doesn't look to be a result of external forces like hackers and such, but rather a technical mishap of Bethesda's own making. Reports began to spread since early afternoon on December 5th, with people across Bethesda's own official forums also discussing how they too could see other customers' tickets and personal information. It took Bethesda hours to finally get wind of this and resolve the issue, by which time enough strangers likely gleaned at what was supposed to be private data. And with the company staying mum about all this, unease only mounted. A Bethesda community manager did eventually provide a response, but all she simply said was, "Hi guys, we have resolved this issue," which is the furthest thing from the most reassuring statement they could provide under the circumstances. After all, with people being kept in the dark about the extent to which their personal information was breached, and with no tangible explanation being provided, one could hardly say the issue was actually resolved. Now, at precisely 11:15 p.m. on December 5th, 2018, many hours after the leak was first reported, and almost an hour after my last video went up in which I detailed this whole situation and criticized how long it was taking for Bethesda to acknowledge what's happening and assure concerned customers, Bethesda support has finally provided a more appropriate response on their official Twitter page. Here's what they had to say. "We experienced an error with our customer support website that allowed some customers to view support tickets submitted by a limited number of other customers during a brief exposure window. Upon discovery, we immediately took down the website to fix the error." That would explain the Twitter notification from 5 p.m. stating that Bethesda's help portal would be down for maintenance, though no acknowledgement of the information leak was made at the time. Anyway, Bethesda support's latest response continued. "We are still investigating this incident and will provide additional updates as we learn more. During the incident, it appears that the username, name, contact information, and proof of purchase information provided by a limited number of customers on their support ticket requests may have been viewable by other customers accessing the customer support website for a limited time, but no full credit card numbers or passwords were disclosed. We plan to notify customers who may have been impacted. Bethesda takes the privacy of our customers seriously, and we sincerely apologize for the situation." Okay, so it doesn't look like Bethesda's 100% certain about the full extent of this accidental leak, but at the very least, they seem confident in saying that credit card numbers and passwords were not compromised. While we've seen people say that type of card used may have been compromised for some users, it looks like nobody has to worry about stolen credit cards or accounts, so there's some comfort to take in that. However, that doesn't mitigate the fact that there was some pretty significant personal information that was unwittingly made public for a few hours, including username, real name, contact information like email address, home address, and phone number, as well as proof of purchase like photos of receipts and such, all of which were noted by people who reported on this situation before Bethesda support got on it. Bethesda's message touts a brief exposure window to help assuage concerns, but a few hours is more than enough time for potentially significant breaches. I suppose there's nothing to do now than wait and see what happens. I said in my last video that what Bethesda needs to do right now is to very quickly provide assurances that an investigation will take place and acknowledge that they'll work towards resolving this issue, which did take longer than I had hoped, but what matters now is that we finally have a response providing some initial details, and it's good to know that Bethesda does have plans to notify customers who may have been impacted and aren't aware of this yet. Hopefully this doesn't turn out to be a big deal for those affected. Hopefully there weren't enough eyes on the Bethesda support page during the exposed window for this leak to pose any tangible threat to privacy. As for Bethesda, while I get that this was fully unintentional, that this was an honest mistake, there is little wiggle room for accidents of this magnitude when the company has completely botched their latest game, Fallout 76, its falsely marketed collector's edition, and their response to the duffel bag situation. It's truly baffling that so much could could go wrong from a game's launch, and while this particular case can likely in part be attributed to poor timing and bad luck, it doesn't change the fact that this website of their own design allowed for this privacy breach to occur, all amidst the PR nightmare surrounding Fallout 76 and its array of missteps no less. Bethesda has nobody but itself to blame for their current predicament, and while I feel for the developers who had no say in Fallout 76's rushed release, and how the duffel bags were handled, and in how Bethesda support's website bugged out, I hope they'll understand that consumers have every right to feel a sense of dread when the bad news surrounding a highly disappointing title from a renowned company continues to mount so relentlessly. Anyway, that's all I have to say on the matter. I'd love to hear what your take is on Bethesda support's response to their recent blunder in the comments below. With that, I would like to end this news update. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoy my content and would like to support this channel directly, consider donating on Patreon. And to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Yong Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Yong out.